first thing we're going to do is start in the easy pose or whatever sitting pose that you're happy with. Try to focus on keeping the back straight. And we'll do a breathing exercise, and we'll just do what we call a box breathing. And for the box breathing, you're going to inhale for 4 counts internally, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold that exhale for 4. And just keep repeating that. We're going to do this for about 2 minutes. Okay, you can return to normal breathing if you haven't done so. And the next thing we're going to do is going to put a side bend into the seating pose. So put the right hand out, put the left hand sort of over the left side of the head, and then do a side bend to the right side. And again, you don't want to stretch too much, just a little bit of a stretch so you can just feel the tension. You might feel it up your arm, into your shoulder. Again, if it hurts too much, just back off on the stretch. You can sit up, and then we'll do the side bend to the left side. So left hand out for support, the right hand over the side of the head, and then bend to the left side. You can straighten up from there as you release. Again, just straight back, and this time we're going to add a twist to the right side. So right hand behind you a little bit, the left hand on the right knee, and then slowly just sort of twist to the right side. Again, you don't want to twist too much, just enough to feel the stretch, or just a little bit. You can release from there and put the left hand back and the right hand on the left knee. And you can use that to kind of pivot as you twist toward the left side. As you release from there, I'm just going to turn sideways so you can sort of see as you're still in the seated position. Put your hands sort of just in front of you. Try to keep the back straight. So it's a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of a forward bend, keeping the back straight and the arms straight. As you release from there, again, keep the back straight and then just put both arms straight up. To add a little bit more to the stretch, try to just sort of reach a little bit higher, but again, you don't want to pull a muscle in your shoulder, so just a little bit, just to feel the tension. And as you release from there, you'll stay in the seated position, but this time try to put your elbows on the floor, so you will be bending your back a little bit, as much as you're comfortable with. If you can't get your elbows to the floor, don't worry about it, but just try to just make it a little bit more of a deeper stretch. As you release from there, we'll leave the seated position and we'll move to table, which is all fours. So you're on your knees and on the palms of your hand. Keep your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And as you're breathing, lift your head up. And as you exhale, curve your back with the head down. So inhale with the head up. Exhale with the head down. Okay, with your knees still staying on the mat, we're going to do what's called thread the needle. And so you're going to take your left hand and put it sort of underneath your right shoulder and try to get as close to the mat as possible with your left shoulder. You can come up from there, and now we'll do the thread the needle with the right hand. And so you can go up and then through underneath the left shoulder. And again, try to put the right shoulder to the mat if possible. You can come up from there and we'll move into a wide child pose. And so what you do is just basically try to sit back on the back of your feet and putting your arms out. From there, you can sort of go forward into Cobra or Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose is where your elbows are resting on the mat and your arms are facing forward at a right angle. If you want a little bit more of a back bend, depending on how your back is doing right now, you can push up more into Cobra pose. As you release from there, keep your tummy on the mat. Put your arms off to the side. Raise your head and raise your feet into locust pose. As you release from there, you can come up and stand up into mountain pose and put your hands to your side. At this point, you can just sort of keep your hands to the side. If you want, you can roll your shoulders just to loosen them up a little bit. Next, we're going to go to chair pose, and what you're going to do for that is just bend the knees, try to keep the back straight. You can put your arms out. The more you bend the knees, the deeper the stretch. And again, just sort of watch the tension in your legs. You can stay in that chair pose and lift your left leg and cross it over your right. And again, single leg pose, so make sure that you're steady. And if you need to sort of decrease or increase the angle on your knees by sort of standing up more, you may, just to help you with the balancing. If you're able to deepen the knee stretch, you'll also increase the rotation on the hip. So it can just be sensitive to all of that, those stretching. We're going to change legs, so you can lower the left and then raise the right and cross it over the left leg. We'll move to warrior two with the right foot toward the top of the mat, the left foot back. Make sure the left foot is somewhat like at a 45-degree angle. The right knee over the right ankle, and then your arms out to the side. We're going to transition to reverse warrior. So you're going to drop the left hand and raise the right hand into a little bit of a side bend on the left side. Now, warrior two, this time with the left foot forward toward the top of the mat, the right foot back on like a 45-degree angle, your left knee over your left ankle, and then arms out to the side. We'll reverse the warrior, so drop the right hand, raise the left hand as a side bend to the right side. As you release from there, stay in a wide-legged stance with both feet facing forward and do a half fold with your hands touching the floor. You may need to bend the knees a little bit. That's okay. Again, try to keep the back as straight as possible as you're doing this. We're going to add the twist, so keep your left hand on the floor and then raise your right hand as you twist to the right side. You can lower the right hand to the floor and then raise the left hand as we do the twist to the left side. As you release from there, come on up, stay in the wide-legged stance, and then arms in the cactus pose as we are in the goddess pose. You can bring the feet closer together as we move into a deep squat called the garland pose. As you release from there, we'll move into like a kneeling pose called the thunderbolt pose. So you sort of sit on the back of your heels, keep the back straight, arms sort of in front of you on your legs. If this is too much on your knees, you can just move into a seated position, because we're going to add a couple of twists. So the first twist to the right side, so put your left hand on your right knee, your right hand back as you are twisting to the right side. As you release from there, you will twist to the left side, so the right hand on the left knee and the left hand back as you twist to the left side. As you release from there, we'll go back to a seated position, but this time in the bound ankle position, we're going to put the bottoms of our feet together in front of us, and you can grab the ankles. So the bottoms of the feet together while you're in a seated position. Try to keep the back straight. While the feet are together, move into a reclined position so your back is on the mat. You can raise both knees up and then put both hands out to the side and then drop the knees to the right side. So you're kind of doing a twist as the knees are dropping to the right side, trying to keep your shoulders to the mat. You can raise the knees, and this time now drop them to the left side. Raise both knees, and this time take your left leg and cross it over the right while your right knee is still raised. So you're doing a little bit of a pigeon with while you're still reclining on your back. You can release from there and raise your left knee and then cross your right leg over your left leg as we switch sides. And if you want to push a little bit on your knee, you may, but not too much. As you release from there, put both knees up, both hands to the side, and then lift up your hips into bridge pose. You can lower your hips and then straighten out your legs. Put your hands to the side as we move into corpse pose, which is also called Savasana. This is our time for the body to rest and relax at the end of our routine. The body's going to just need that moment to unwind a little bit. While we are unwinding, let me just share with you a passage from the Gospel of Matthew. When Jesus went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them and healed the sick. So Jesus had compassion on the crowds of people. He healed them, he fed them, He didn't avoid them. Typically, we push people away, especially when there's too many of them, all demanding of things from us, because we don't have the energy, nor do we always have that type of compassion. We are also very critical of ourselves for the same lack of compassion. But Jesus has compassion on all people, including us. So as you exhale, you can say this prayer silently to yourself. Jesus, bring your healing and compassion to my life. If your eyes are closed, you can open them at this time. And this concludes our session for tonight. So again, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Better.
Hopefully not too much.